Hello Noofs, and welcome to a PvZ from IEM Katowice. This video will feature the blue Protoss in the upper left, hailing from the US and sponsored by Ting. His name is Neeb, and he's facing off against the red Zerg in the bottom right, playing for Meliora Esports and the entire country of Sweden. His name is SortOf. Wow, my mouth is getting all kinds of tangled up. Ben, give us a score prediction.
I'm going to go with 2-1 for Neeb. Because Neeb is pretty good at PvZ. But, you know, I bet SortOf can take a game.
But not 2-0 good at PvZ.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. So, before we started recording this video, I think that people should know that we spent about, 3 or 4 minutes trying to figure out why our voice chat wasn't working. And Ben, do you know why our voice chat wasn't working?
Why was it not working?
It was not working because I had just knocked over all the wires, as I did actually in another video, which has recently come to our channel. And my headphones, the plug was plugged into my computer, but not plugged into my headphones.
Ah, that would do it.
That is why I could not hear you. Which I'm sure. Ooh, okay. Yep, get that. Yep. All right.
Yep.
So that is Ben. That is why you had to sit there and ask me on Discord if I was deaf.
It would have been really unfortunate if that was the reason why, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, pretty ableist of you. Pretty offensive of you to even ask that question, Ben.
Is it, though?
Yes, I can't believe that you would do that. Me being annoying with his probe, as usual.
Getting that cyber core.
I'm prepared to make a pretty bold prediction here and say that Neeb's actually going to go ahead and make Stargate.
Really?
As his first real tech building. Yep. Do you have an alternative prediction for me?
Yes.
Okay.
He's going to build a macro nexus. And then he's going to chrono out 100 probes on 2 bases, and then he's going to mineral walk them across the map. And then they're just going to go through his opponent's army and then kill all the buildings.
The macro nexus sounds like... I'm not even going to bother responding to that idea. The macro nexus sounds like one of those things that maybe, if you were just starting the game, would sound like an okay idea. Because workers are really important. And, it's really important to have a lot of them. And so why not make twice as many as you would otherwise?
Well, where are these Zerglings going?
That's a good question.
Sort of
looks like we know exactly where they're going.
Exploring the right side of the map, it looks like. This one is going in a slightly different order. Looks like there are, in fact, no proxy stargates over here.
Nope, there's just... Well, there is a proxy, but it's in his main base.
Yes.
Yeah, so it will not be scouted by the Zerglings.
This is a very fast Evo chamber.
Yeah,
so I think this is going to be like a ling drop, it looks like. See, he's making a bunch of lings.
Oh, boy.
This is going to be the fun build that isn't in the meta anymore, because it got nerfed. And this, despite the fact that he doesn't have a lair, this Overlord... Well, this Overlord is not in the right... It looks maybe this Overlord? This Overlord is not at all in the right place. Although now it's coming back to here. It looks like this may have been a misrallied Overlord. Neeb actually has the pylon right in position, though, so he's a little onto this. I don't know if he saw anything, or that's probably the standard. Well, that adept is a little exposed.
Yeah, he's going to lose an adept there just for a couple of Zerglings, which is a little annoying. Add that shield battery there, get that Sim City going. This is the part of the game... No, that'll definitely die. This is the part of the game that... Oh, actually, it shaded away. I wasn't even keyed into that suspense there.
This Oracle's getting quite a few lane kills, 3 already.
Yeah.
There's no Zerglings actually going to this Overlord at this point.
Yeah, well, he definitely can't just run from this to the Overlord.
Yeah, where are all the adepts? Oh, the adepts went into the main, and so now he's attacking the natural. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's why he didn't bury into the main.
This is not looking all that convincing. He's now going to drop in the main. There's a Phoenix out.
No, that Phoenix will not kill that Overlord in time. But it will be able to lift one Zergling, so that'll be good.
Yes, it could.
They'll hit that pylon, which is confirming that they actually are there.
The cyber core is working, gonna finish. Oh, he moved away! Oh, he doesn't finish!
Oh, denied! No way! Oh. That was awesome! Wow, that was about as close as it gets, folks.
Yeah, seriously.
It does not get closer than that.
This is gonna be weird, because he's just gonna start droning up now. But he is way down on that drone count. And there are now, what, 2 Oracles and a Phoenix, it looks like? Yeah.
Ben, what are you talking about? He has 25 more drones than Neeb does. He is not behind in drones.
That is true.
He's way ahead in drones. He's got a huge lead in drones.
But unfortunately, his drone count is somewhat counteracted by his immense probe deficit.
Yeah. Which is too bad. He really needs to pay better attention to that. You'd think a pro gamer, right? I don't know. Anyways.
This is why the meta is to go one base, infestation pick, get Neural, build a Nexus with a Neural probe, and then start chronoing out probes.
So that you don't fall behind in that probe count.
Yes.
This is going to become a weird game. Sort of is way behind because that ended up doing absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah, I mean, the denying the warp gate really delays the actual aggression from Neeb. Besides these, so in theory, SortOf can just only make drones for a while. But the issue is that Neeb can also just keep making probes. You can see he's actually getting a fast forge to get some upgrades started. Since the other issue is without warp gate, it's going to be very hard for him to push out to his third.
Yep.
So those two combined are going to make it a little tricky for Neeb to get his economy further than it is right now, but it's already so far ahead of SortOf's. That's going to be really helpful. He's going to push in here, but there's 5 adepts and 2 shield batteries, so he's not going to get very far with that. He's making a warp prism and 4 gateways, which is going to put him up to a total of, what? Let's see. Oh, the tab here unfortunately doesn't list, but yes, 8. You're right. And a sort of late +1 isn't going to be all that helpful, but it looks like there's just going to be a big 2-base all-in here from Neeb with Charge and High Templar.
Some Charge Lot, some High Templar for the feedbacks. No, Charge Lot Archon, he'll probably get a third, but he'll probably not actually ever rally any probes to it. Because it's really just there just so it isn't too obvious what's happening. SortOf, who is still down 16 workers in total, bleeding overlords all over the place. Is now having to make lings despite being down. Yeah, this
is not looking good for Neeb. Bunch of units, so Neeb's even going to get his third, apparently.
This is not looking good for SortOf. It's looking very good for Neeb.
It is looking good for Neeb. 3 drop overlords over here. And so it looks like he's actually going to do like a queen drop all in, with queens and baneling drops and stuff. I think that's going to be really bad against Charge Lot Archon, though.
Yeah, all the power to him, though. You never know. I mean, weirder things have happened. Oh, these 2 Archons alone are going to do it. I'm not sure that he has enough lings to handle just those 2 Archons.
Hot pickup on the queen there. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, okay, so he can juggle these Archons forever, which is annoying. What is in that?
It should be queens, yeah.
It's queens?
You can drop queen and shoot the thing, but there's a bunch of units here now.
Yeah, Neeb also, by the way, lost that one of those 2 Archons.
Oh, he lost an Archon. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, not great.
This is a lot of queens.
It's a lot of queens, but he's got so much. Look at that warp prism. He's got some Archons. He's got 1 Archon and a Zealot coming up. Yeah, and it's just queens at this point.
+1 is done now.
Yeah, this is getting rough. This will probably be the end of game 1. There we go. SortOf says GG. Doesn't say it, Ben. He types it. SortOf types GG.
He probably also said it.
It's bad manners if you don't also say it.
Yes.
Neeb takes game number 1.
Imagine how weird it would be if the standard was to play Starcraft 1v1 with voice chat on.
Well, Ben, do you remember when we made that Starcraft Reddit post before we did any of this and asking for suggestions of what people would like to see?
Yeah.
And then we completely ignored all of the suggestions. But and here we are, wildly successful.
Yes.
But one of the suggestions was to have the players trash talk during the games, which sounds wonderful in theory, but I think in practice would be awful. Yes. I mean, I love Neeb. I love him. He's a beautiful human being. I don't think that he would be a great trash talker.
Yeah, we would have to go and bring back Combat X from the dead.
Yeah, or just have a Velo play in every single offline tournament.
Well, it's not really trash talk, though. That's just sort of
that's true.
Calling your opponent, things that I won't say.
A hacker, Ben. It's not a bad word. The H word, I'll say it. Hacker. He calls him a hacker. Yeah. Hey, by the way, everybody here should know that Ben is actually higher in his Masters 1 division than Avilo. He's in Avilo's division.
I don't think anymore. I'm pretty sure Avilo's now rank 1 because he went and won some games.
Tragic. As of last night, you were, which was very cool to all of us. We were all very excited by that.
I watched Game 1 of Avilo's stream yesterday, in which he pretty convincingly won. But it didn't stop him from, while winning, complaining that he had to build the counter to his opponent's composition.
That's awesome. It really is an odd thing because the entire community tunes in regularly just to hate him. Fascinating. It's a fascinating little corner of the internet of Elo's stream.
There's its little cheeks.
Yeah, we never actually settled that after we talked about it in that earlier video.
Maybe they're eyes. It could be eyes.
I don't think Protoss have eyes, dude. I think they just feel it.
They don't have eyes?
Do Zerg have eyes?
Zerg definitely have eyes.
Oh, you know, Zeratol has eyes, because that's my
Yeah.
portrait. He definitely has eyes.
See, like, if we... This Overlord... Oh, you can't see the eyes. They're going around. See, look. See, it's got, like, 8 eyes there. See the little 4 eyes?
We've gone over this. I always thought the 2 big bulbs on both sides of it were eyes. But in fact,
that's
that
how
is
it
not
floats
true.
in the air.
Yeah, it's science, Ezra. That's how it
Yeah.
works. Is that a heart in the middle of the Overlord that lets it float?
I don't know.
I don't know either. There you go, everyone. We're not quite sure.
Well, that's little... Well, looks like it'll be okay.
Yeah,
Wings didn't quite
should
get
be
this
alright.
round on it. And the second adept coming across the map. So we'll see if SortOf... He is making some more Zerglings now. So hopefully he's
Neeb-
able to deal with the pressure.
Neeb does this basically every game with both adepts.
Yeah.
Often you'll see Protoss make a Stalker second to deny scouting, but he always goes 2 adepts. And then pretty often just shades it. He shouldn't here. He does
Yeah.
not. Yeah, okay, well, good. But yeah, he'll often just pull the trigger on that. Or at least he would in IEM Katowice when this tournament happened 2 months ago. That was a common
This
thing.
Overlord kind of coming around and should be able to spot the Stargate and the Twilight Council. So that'll be some good info for SortOf here, planning out his mid-game. How's he doing for Spore Crawlers? He's got not very many Spore Crawlers, it looks like.
Yeah.
He's got 1 in the main, and he's got 2 Queens in the natural. So the 2 Queens should be okay to deal with this, but it's going to make it a little hard to push out to its 3rd, because you can't use the 2 Queens for the 3rd if you don't have a Spore in your natural.
Yeah, they have to stand guard.
Looks like
Oh,
they are
there's-
going to
looks like-
run to the 3rd, but this Oracle, if Neeb sees this, he
Interesting.
could run into the natural. Let's see if he's going to. Oh.
Yep, looks like he's going to, and he's going to get there.
Oh,
Okay, there's 1
okay.
queen, so he'll actually be right back. So sort of handled that pretty well.
Yep.
Looks like Neeb's follow-up, by the way, is going to be Glaives. So you would expect to see him add on 6 or 7 gateways and all in with this.
Yeah.
He also has a build where he moves out with 6 adepts and uses it to facilitate a 3rd that
Yeah,
we've
his,
seen
his
before.
3rd Stargate or 3rd Gateway is a little slow for that, though. So I don't know.
Yeah, odd. Huh.
Okay, and here's the fast Baneling asked from SortOf, so it looks like Ling Baneling is going to be his composition of choice when dealing with these early Glaive Adepts. And with the lair just now finishing, there's going to be the Hydra Den, so it'll be a pretty standard Hydra-Ling Baneling.
Yep.
That Oracle dropping a Stasis Ward right on top of the Queen. Doesn't get too much time, because SortOf is on top of it. At least they turned off the whole thing where Stasis Wards could get larva. That was really dumb.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yes.
freaking lame.
Anyway,
Okay, here's the
yeah.
6 adept to move out. I think he left 1 at home,
Are there
which
any
is nice.
units? There's 13 Zerglings and some Queens, so he's making some more Zerglings, but these are Glaive Adepts, so this could be a little scary.
Well, they're not. Well, I guess they will be Glaive Adepts in a second. He can't shade in yet because
Yeah.
he doesn't actually have Glaives. But
Okay.
he will for the next shade. And
Looks like
at the
maybe
very
there'll
least,
be
he'll
enough,
force out extra lings.
enough Queens and Lings and some Banelings that should help this
Yeah.
Oracle. Okay. Just going to drop this Revelation on the natural, get some nice little vision. Now you can see this is quite a few Adepts.
Oh.
How
Big
many
investment.
Banelings are there? 2.
Where are they?
And they're over here, so...
This could be tricky if he were to shade into the 3rd. It looks like he's going to go for the natural instead. He can't pull the trigger on that
Yeah.
shade, though. He should stay up here. Yeah, okay. Because you don't want to shade 2 of the Banelings. Oh, yikes. Okay, that's actually a decent surround on 2 of those Adepts up there.
Good
The
split,
first
though.
Baneling explodes. He's flipped well, but it looks like this is going to get fended off with basically no damage at all.
Yep.
3 drones, 4 drones, 5 drones going down.
1 Adept
But
in
I
the
think
main.
I think SortOf will take that every time. The annoying thing for him is that Neeb, this is not all in by any stretch of the imagination. Neeb has got his 3rd rolling. He's making Immortals behind it. He's got some sentries. Really just an investment of, what was that, 12 Adepts, I think?
Yep. Something like
So
that.
not, yeah.
Or maybe it was only 9. There were I think 3 warp gates, right? So it would be 6 and then 1 more warp in of 3.
Except that there were 5 and then he warped in 2. I don't know. I'm not sure. Either way,
So there's some units moving across the map actually now for SortOf. And he's really low on the drone count. He needs to get that back up. It looks like he's maybe just going to do some non-committal pressure here. I don't think he can get anything done.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. He's sticking on... Okay, so he's got a gaggle of Hydras at the moment.
Neeb actually building some shield batteries out here. Keep that defense. That's pretty good. Oh, cancels one of them.
Huh. He's going into Colossi, which you don't usually see.
And it's going to be lurkers from SortOf.
Yeah. So, yeah, you don't usually see the Colossi in this matchup anymore, in part because Immortals are better against lurkers. And that gas is better done elsewhere, like Storms and Archons. Oh, run away, Oracle. Get away. Ah. Okay. He'll be good.
Yeah.
I wonder if Neeb would abandon the Colossi thing once he sees the lurkers. Although you expect to see the lurkers, right?
Colossi aren't awful against lurkers in that they're pretty good against Hydra lane mainly.
Right. Yeah.
And then they're still sort of equal range to the lurkers. And then you can kind of, if you clean that all up, it can be a little tricky as Zerg to actually push into the Colossi because you kind of expect to have that range advantage as the lurkers to let you slow push. And you don't have that against the Colossi, so we do see SortOf dropping that Spire. And probably is going to get out some Corruptors to help deal with the Colossi. Could go into Mutas. There isn't an Infestation Pit yet, and that's what you really want against Colossi, you know. Vipers can be good if there aren't a bunch of feedbacks, and Broodlords obviously are very good. So yeah, these lanes don't look like they're going to be all too effective here.
Yeah, they should just leave. They should skedaddle.
Do you see how far that Zergling went?
Yeah, man, that's brutal. That's the strong weapons on Protoss, man.
Yeah, I think that was the Immortal that blasted it over there.
Of course, that's because they're overpowered.
Yep.
They're just too darn strong. So Neeb looks like he's going to get this fourth up pretty comfortably. He's stopped making Colossi now after the first
10 lurkers is a lot of lurkers.
10 lurkers is going to be pretty problematic. SortOf is kind of just all over the map at this point. Neither player has really touched the other one that much, so
yeah,
they've kind of just been able to gobble up whatever they want. For SortOf, that means he's at about 80 drones. It means that he's at 5 bases. Neeb is at really comfortable 4 bases. He's got his 2 Colossi. He's got +2 on the way, and he's also at basically 80 workers as well. So
there's a tag on these units, so Neeb knows exactly what's coming. And really, the main threat of the lurkers is if you are out of position and you let them get burrowed somewhere. But if the idea is that if you push out against lurkers, you can prevent them from burrowing somewhere good. So that's exactly what Neeb is doing. It's a nice little force field actually to grab a few units. And if you look at it, there's actually not that many non-lurker units here. So Neeb now pushing out is going to... I don't think he's going to try and... I don't think his goal is to push in and do damage. Oh, this is really bad. Oh, that's really bad.
Does he have an observer up there?
I guess not.
I'm not sure he even has an observer with the army, so... Definitely can't go up there. Yeah, also, the Corruptors are starting to finish, so these Colossi are not going to last that long.
There's an observer now. He doesn't take quite as much damage from that as I thought he might, but you have to be really careful about those lurkers when you don't have vision.
Yep, so he's actually going to engage on top of this. He's already killed 1 lurker, but man, those things just chew up gateway units. Man, that's going to be a really, really tough
position to attack into. There's no anti-air really, except for like 1 Archon as percentages.
Yeah, and 3 Stalkers. Man, I almost think that the Corruptors probably could have just kept going. And gotten that Colossus for good. But he's going to re-attack into this. You know, I think that he actually might be able to just push through with his Immortal and his... No, apparently not. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all bruised lurkers. These Corruptors, by the way, are useless now.
Yes. This Archon morphing in range of a lurker.
Yeah. Huh.
These probes, so, I don't know what they're doing over here.
This Colossus tech has gotten... He's completely off of it now. He's just going to charge out Archons. I love this. Neeb can't stop this, can he? I guess he can. 4 Stalkers?
You don't want to throw away all your Corruptors just for one Nexus, though. Because those things are pretty expensive, and you want to have them sitting there for when you finally get your Greater Spire, which should start morphing pretty soon.
So Neeb has started his ship phase. Oh man, he needs to stop. Ugh. That hurts to watch, man. Also, by the way, SortOf is losing... Oh my gosh, wow. So Neeb must have a Warp Prism somewhere that's dropped all of these Zealots.
They could have maybe just walked from his third.
They could have. That would have been an awfully long walk, but I guess they could have. Yeah, he doesn't have a single Warp Prism.
Unless he lost it. Oh.
Huh.
Pushes on the
And at
lurkers
the
and
same
he's able to pick
time,
a
he
few
manages to push on the lurkers, and now they're unburrowed, so he's going to be able to chase them all the way back here. Sort of is down to 6 lurkers, one of them almost dead. And then a bunch of lings and a bunch of hydras. It's still a pretty scary army for Neeb to
But he
engage
doesn't
against.
have lurker burrow speed or a greater spire, despite the fact that he has a hive.
Yeah, and look at this. So all of those lurkers are off to one side, and they can just get Archon down. There's, although it looks like the observer actually got sniped there.
Yeah, really annoying.
So
Protoss
he's gonna have to back off. Yeah, for sure. Believe me, very, very, very annoying. 3 more lurkers join. Yikes. But Neeb is starting to make some headway into this army. Those 4 lurkers there are all pretty bruised. I'm surprised that he hasn't grabbed Storm. He's really just sticking with a bunch of Immortals and Archons, and then occasionally some Zealots at the same time. Man, he's just got the 1 Observer. That thing is precious. That's a valuable unit right now.
Yep.
Tricky to engage onto that.
Yep, there it goes.
Yep. Oh, God. It's so frustrating. Oh, that must be so frustrating for him. I can't even imagine. His +3 is going to finish, though, on the bright side.
Yeah. It's actually a kind of a weird game. You see Neeb is actually sitting at a much higher play count, so as the game goes on, if you can just kind of trade okay, it should be okay for him. There's not really hive tech. There is now going to be the lurker burrow speed, but he still hasn't started a greater spire. That would be a pretty good thing. Okay, he's actually going to go around as the lurker seems up onto his 5th base, cut off reinforcements, and maybe counterattack.
Yeah, so Neeb was up a base there, and he's up workers. So he has actually been producing much more than SortOf for the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. He's going to take out another base here. It's kind of funny because, as we said earlier, the problem with workers is when they siege up and you have to attack into them because you got out of position. But, oh my god, Neeb has to recall this, right? He's totally trapped. There's so many hydras. Yeah, absolutely. The lurkers, the hydras are going to move in. He's actually just going to fight.
Wow.
He's going to lose his entire army, but at the same time, he takes a hatchery and 21 workers. Oh man, so Neeb is actually up. Ben, Neeb is up supply? How does that happen?
Yeah,
he
well,
kills 21 workers.
He's just got so many more workers. He's up like 35 workers. But he's losing all these units to lurkers, which is not good because the army supply is the one thing he's got down.
Yeah.
And he's run out of immortal count. He loses another observer.
Yikes.
So these lurkers could potentially... it's basically on these lurkers to win the game at this point. He is droning up, now making some hydras, but he can't really afford to make another army, and he's really got to make it do just with these, 6 lurkers and a handful of hydras.
Yep, he can be really annoying with them though, because again, Neeb is now finally making another observer. But every observer is less immortal build time. So Neeb is a little bit trapped in that way, but he also has 80 workers basically, and is still sitting with 5 bases here, although he's not mining out of one of them. And outproducing SortOf. SortOf lost another base there, so he's back down to 4. Hasn't managed to really gain an economic foothold in this game in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
What's over here? Oh, these are changelings, okay.
Just some changelings. SortOf hasn't even retaken that
This is a lot of
base
lurkers.
now. This is a lot of lurkers. This is weird. The roles are flipped. Usually you see kind of a hero push from Protoss. That observer's going to rejoin the army, and again, the goal is going to be to snipe that with hydras.
I mean, there is the revelation, so that helps, but...
Oh, true.
If that runs out or something...
Yep, so Neeb is going to engage. Remember, he doesn't actually have to win this outright. If he can just clear a bunch of these lurkers, but it looks like he's actually going to win this outright. He's got 3 immortals, 5 immortals actually, some archons. He's going to clear out all these lurkers. This is pretty much the end of the game and the series for SortOf. At this point, it's just a matter of time until Neeb walks across the map. He's cleared out all of SortOf's important units. SortOf is down to just a few hydras. He says, GG! Neeb takes the series. That was actually a pretty quick series for Neeb.
Yeah.
Takes it 2-0. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching Ben's prediction be proven wrong. There are 2 videos on the screen you can click on if you'd like to. Comment, like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. But most importantly, have a good day, and thank you for watching.